Hello again, everyone. It's Betty Ray, and I'm back again to talk to you about Raphael's book. It's called Ask Raphael, and it has been a book of conversations about the questions that you and many other people have asked him over the 50 years that I've been channeling him. And the Archangel Raphael is a very wise being of light. And it has been my privilege to channel this archangel for this many years. And I want to share it with you before my time on earth is up. So even after I'm gone, you can look at these videos and hear the wisdom of the archangel through me. The background that you're seeing now is of the stained glass angel over here. And that was part of an inspiration that I created for when I was doing expos where a number of people would come to listen to speakers and so forth. And I created a backdrop that had angels on it, and it said, "Come play with the angels," which was the first book that we ever put out. And so I took that piece that I had and took it to a stained glass person because I'm not an artist in that area. And they created that wonderful stained glass that you see behind me. And this lovely picture behind me was a gift from my son when he was in Rome. I think that's kind of how he pictures me channeling the archangel and the wisdom that comes from that archangel as I spend my life trying to help people by having them contact me and allowing me to share the wisdom of the archangel with them. I want to reiterate that we still do consultations or readings, whatever you want to call them, messages from the archangel, and we're not charging at this time in our lives. And so you can contact us at angelbettyray@gmail.com. Just ask for a free reading, and we will be happy to do that. You will be amazed at the joy that you will feel and the unconditional love that comes through. There is never any judgment or any coulds, shoulds, or oughts that come from the archangel, only uplifting encouragement and showing you how wonderful you really are as a being of light. So do understand that these readings not only are free, but they are a gift that will lift you up and inspire you to be all you came here to be. And so don't hesitate to contact us. And again, it's an email at angelbettyray@gmail.com. I'll spell it ANGELBETTYRAE@gmail.com. Don't hesitate, please, to give us a call. And even when we are doing a video, you can ask questions. If it's live, you can type in a question and we will be happy to answer it live on the video. But for today, we're going to go back to Raphael's book. We're trying to get it published. It's getting near the time when it can. I've hired a wonderful friend of mine who is an artist to do a new cover for it. I tried to do a cover and it just wasn't good enough. And so I've asked her to create a cover, and that's the only thing that's holding it up right now. It's ready for publication and it will be available on Amazon. And so look for it, Ask Raphael, and it will be very uplifting and I'm sure encouraging, something you can look at again and again and study. And so to give you a taste of it, we're giving you the part in the book that talks about the development of soul personalities. You have a soul, a giant being of light. Raphael has allowed me to see your soul when we do these readings. And I see it as a huge column of light, like a sunbeam that just comes right down and is filled with these beads of energy. That's the only way I can describe it. It looks like 4th of July sparklers, and they are all dancing in their own DNA pattern. And the color that it emanates tells me so much about your soul's purpose and why you're here on the planet and how many lifetimes you've had. Even talks about past lifetimes, if they are in any way interfering with your life now or making to help you to understand why people do the things they do around you, because some people are just, you just don't understand why they are in your life. And this will help you to understand all of that. This is the bigger picture that Raphael has to offer you. And so, dear friends, don't hesitate to give us a jingle at angelbettyray@gmail.com, and we can set up a reading. As far as the time, it's up to you. Raphael usually does at least a half hour, sometimes an hour, and it depends on what your questions are and what you need to hear. So we're going to start today with his chapter on souls. People don't understand they have this magnificent soul that is who they really are. And there's only a portion of your soul's energy that is in this physical body, because your soul has such enormous power and energy that you would probably implode if your soul entered fully into your physical body. So it gives you a portion of itself, and it does it in the form of a spirit that duplicates your physical body. And that spirit is your consciousness. It's your ability to decide if this is good or bad or indifferent. And it's your ability to store information. And this spirit self, that is a portion of your soul, looks exactly like you. If you were to leave your body and travel off somewhere and somebody were to see you, they would think it was your ghost, because it is. It is your spirit self. When it leaves, it doesn't mean that you die. It means that it just goes off and travels. And that happens every night when you sleep. And so we're going to talk about soul personalities. And I'm going to be looking over here at another computer and reading it for you to help you understand the people in your life. Everybody has a soul, and everybody is exploring this physical world. And it is their job as a soul to figure out how to be a sentient being on a physical planet and yet still be a soul and a spirit. And so the red ray soul, let us explain when we're talking about when God creates a soul. God is all the divine energy that is everything. And when energy meets the physical dimension, even if it's non-visible dimension, but it's still the physical dimension, it immediately takes on a color, a vibration. And so when God creates a soul and sends it forth into the physical dimensions, it comes through one of God's energy rays. Think of God as a rainbow. And when it sends forth a soul from the red part of the rainbow, it takes on a personality and a purpose and a point of view. And so red souls, their purpose is to develop leadership. It vibrates to your tuning fork of sound of C, which resonates at 256 hertz. And the red soul needs to be grounded in Earth's energy so as to focus on practical and earthly things. This soul's challenges are expressed through acts of courage and leadership. It desires to be in charge, and in the beginning lifetimes may become a tyrant, demanding loyalty or death. And we have to add, as we did earlier when we started this video, we have a tyrant in the White House, and we're going to come right out and say that. That tyrant demands loyalty, as he did of our FBI director. And when that FBI director kind of stepped back and thought, what is this man really asking me? And he did not keep that promise to Trump that he would be loyal to him beyond his own conscience, because this was a man of integrity. And so he fired him. Trump fired him because he wasn't loyal. That proves that Trump is a tyrant and a baby soul. Now, people maybe don't want to hear this video, and you can very well turn it off, but we're speaking about souls that are on the planet of varying stages of development. And that means that those who are wonderfully helpful, people like Mother Teresa, who gave her life to the poor and the diseased and the downtrodden. She was an advanced soul, and she was determined to be of service to people. But if you've got people who are of service only to themselves, then you've got someone who is not a developed soul. It's just beginning to figure out how to how to maneuver in a physical body on a physical planet. And so these baby souls that are still on the planet are ones that are seeking their own honor and glory. They don't give that to God, they give it to themselves. I am the best. I am this, I am that. They are seeking their own honor and glory. And that is the first sign that they are baby souls. And we have to bring forth here also that the Europeans had a float of Donald Trump as a baby in diapers. They had his number right from the beginning. And unfortunately, his ego, Trump's ego, is so blown up that he will retaliate to anybody who does not think he's the best. And when he said, we're getting off on a tyrant here, but I can't help it. When he said he was going to drain the swamp and he was going to hire only the best people, well, it turns out his best people have all been indicted and have been put in jail. And so, what does that say about this man? What does that say? If you have your eyes closed, please open them. Because instead of draining the swamp, he created an even muddier swamp of people who would do his bidding or they would be fired. And you have seen it time and again. If anybody refuses to go against his will or think he is the best, they get fired. And the innocent people that have been fired, that are good, hardworking people, their lives have been totally changed because this man's ego only wants those who will worship him. And this is why we have to be so vigilant during this voting time to vote for Joe Biden. I'm sorry, I have to say this, and you can turn me off if you want to, but you've got a man who really wants to save the soul of this nation. And whereas Trump, he wants only people to idolize him. He wants to be like Putin, who's been in office for umpteen years. And this is why he talks about all those different terms, like 3 terms. He's trying to make it so that he's like Putin. He admires the man. He admires all dictators. He thinks that he's in love with the Korean dictator. And so I hope that you can hear me. It is so important at this time that you exercise your gift of being a democracy, because our democracy is at stake. And so here we have a red ray soul in Trump who wants to be the leader, who wants to be so in charge that he can call out the military on peaceful protesters, that he can clear the path with gas to just so he can go do a photo op in front of a church. Look at the things this man has done out of his own ego, and vote accordingly. It is so important if we wish to save our democracy. And so we may not get very far with this, but Trump is a baby red soul, and he's a tyrant. And if people don't go along with what he says, they are gone. They just will not be in the White House or have anything to do with the democracy. And that is so dangerous. We cannot have 4 more years of Donald Trump. And so we'll talk about more of it. So Raphael says in his book, a red soul's energy will vibrate in red throughout his entire existence. He doesn't change the color of his soul. He doesn't change his modus operandi, if you will. He will be that way for many, many lifetimes because he is a red soul who is learning to be a sentient being on planet Earth. He's discovering what it's like to have power. And he's discovering that the power that he has been able to wield as a president is really like it goes to his head and he's drunk with it. And so A red soul's energy will vibrate to red throughout all of these lifetimes. It will never change. Now, we're going to go on. We'll leave the politics behind for now and talk about an orange ray soul. It vibrates to the tuning fork sound of D, like you would play D on the piano. It too is well grounded, but God sends only a few of these souls into the planet at one time. They are often tide changers of spiritual energy, bringing forth new perceptions of God. These souls are often become a leader of souls rather than of armies. They come in with advanced knowledge and spiritual wisdom and hold a close connection to their Creator. They become bearers of a profound message to multitudes of souls, which may start a movement or a religion. They usually begin as an advanced soul and do not have to go through all the stages of soul growth. Since these souls enter the planet as an advanced soul, there are very few of them on the planet at any given time. Now, this isn't said in his book, but we have been told from Raphael that the Master Jesus was an orange soul. And that's why he came in with such advanced knowledge and such a close relationship to his Father, as he called God, that he could bring forth the good news of being a spiritual being, of being a powerful creator with God. And so the messages of the Christ were always to be kind and compassionate to others, to be of service to others. And that's why one of our videos a while back was asking the question, is Trump the Antichrist? And to measure up, we used the 7 deadly sins. And as we did that to measure reactions in the physical world, he has committed all 7 of the deadly sins, which says that he is certainly not a Christ bearer. His messages are to be a physical being entirely into his physical needs, his sexual needs, and the needs that can just tell other people to get out of his way, that he will do what he wants to do because he needs to do it. And here we go again. Now, the yellow soul has energy that vibrates to the frequency of the tuning fork E. It focuses on the mind and the intellect, leading them toward research and study. These souls may become the architects, mathematicians, and scientists of the world. They have keen minds and can be considered geniuses. Some savants are yellow souls who delight in spouting facts that flabbergast others. They just don't know how their mind can work that way. Now, the green soul ray, which happens to be one of the mostly populated on the planet, and thank God for that, because they dedicate their energy to the service of others, often to the disservice to themselves, because they give up their needs to fulfill other people's dreams. So Raphael says, the green soul vibrates to the energy of F on the scale. It is a balance between the 3 slower vibrating energies of red, orange, and yellow, and the faster soul vibrations of blue, indigo, and violet. This soul seeks to be of service to others, to heal and help in any way presented. Now, let me reiterate, faster, slower of your soul's vibration has nothing to do with good, better, or best. It's just what is in the vibrational energy of the universe. The blue soul ray vibrates to G and radiates the light blue color. The soul is often multi-talented, expressing abstract ideas in many different creative roles, such as teacher, inspirational speaker, musician, actor, writer, and so forth. The indigo ray soul vibrates to the A tuning fork as the deep bluish purple of an indigo color. It is the vibration used for tuning an orchestra at 440 hertz. People with this soul energy are often labeled strange. They like being different. Because of their ability to think out of the box, these souls tend to imagine possible future scenarios and prepare for them, or even seek to create them, thus making them inventors of unusual projects. The violet ray soul now vibrates at the fastest frequency of all soul vibrations to the B tuning fork. And again, remember, faster, slower has nothing to do with good, bad, or whatever in between. These souls radiate with a violet or purple color. It is focused on otherworldly information, desiring to gain understanding of God and the afterlife. So that is the end of that particular chapter with Raphael. And we will end this particular chapter with you. Dear friends, do listen to your own divine guidance when it comes to voting this fall. And remember, your future depends on who you select as the next president of the United States. God bless all of you. Please stay safe, wear a mask, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.